Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Good, the Bad, the Sports. Let's jump right in to today's good news. For the good news today, we have a very special event. The 2026 NBA Finals has just concluded, and the New York Knicks, yes, an odd one to say, have finally won an NBA championship. They are the 2026 NBA champions. This is the first win in 53 years for the New York Knicks, which is just insane. It's been 53 years since they last won, and the drought, as they call it, is finally over. Knicks fans were just going wild. They were able to do it in San Antonio, a tough environment to play in, and they were able to take all three games they played in San Antonio and win in 5 games, 4-1. The Knicks had a record of 16-3 in the playoffs, so just absolutely clutch. Another crazy thing was, in the first quarter, the Knicks were down at some point in that first quarter by 10 or more points, so double-digit points, in every single game against the Spurs, including a historic 29-point comeback in Game 4 of the NBA Finals. And this Knicks team has just battled through so much adversity and have just come together in the biggest of moments to just dominate in the playoffs, beating the Philadelphia 76ers by more than 40 and just destroying the Cavs. Just an insane NBA playoff run with Jalen Brunson crowned as MVP after his 40-plus point game in the finals. First player ever to do that in a finals game and then go on to win. So well deserved for a unanimous MVP in the finals. For the good news, I also want to add that the World Cup is underway, and another special event is that it's come to the United States. So now the World Cup will be in the United States, Canada, and Australia, where teams will battle for roughly a month, and we'll see who wins. And USA defeated Paraguay in their first match, winning 4-1 at MetLife Stadium, which was a big win for the United States team and a good way to start their group seedings. And we'll see if the United States can finally make it out of the group event and make it into the knockout round, as they've been struggling as of late in past World Cups. But it would be extra special now that the World Cup is in the United States for the United States team to go very far and challenge teams like France and Spain, who are favored to win. But we'll see what happens, and I'll let you know continually what's going on with the United States and who is expected to win as we get closer to the end of the World Cup. Just exciting news for the Knicks and a great start to the World Cup for the United States team, and excited to have the World Cup back this year.
Here comes Fox. 5 seconds remaining. Fox to Wemby. Wemby tries a three, puts it up, off the mark. Anunoby the rebound. It's over. It's over. Knick fans, this is not a dream. Your long, long wait has ended. Go ahead and cry. After 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Now, let's move on to today's bad news. As I mentioned in the good news, the Knicks finally won their first NBA Finals in 53 years. However, outside of the game, there has been a ton of violence. For example, last night, after the Knicks won their championship, there were a lot of riots around Midtown New York, including gunshots heard and just destruction of police vehicles and taxis, and just a bunch of crazy violence going on outside in Midtown and in New York City after the Knicks won. Also, after Game 4, a 17-year-old Knicks fan was brutally beaten just a few blocks from Madison Square Garden, so just a few blocks away from the event of the Knicks game. And the victim suffered seizure, and it was a result of gang violence because of the outcome of the game. And the suspect, they're still looking for the suspect, but just another incident of violence due to the height and stakes of the game. Next, after Game 3 on June 8th, after the Spurs won the game in the Knicks Stadium in Madison Square Garden, a mob of Knicks fans cornered a man, and they beat him and punched him and stripped his jersey off, and it was just an ugly scene. And fans were just going crazy with police because in anger, just crazy for New York fans, which are some of the craziest fans, and it's just wild how this is happening because of an outcome of a game. But thankfully, all the players from both the Knicks and Spurs talked about it, and they condemned all the violence. They were saying how all these attacks are unacceptable, and it's basically a kid's game they're playing out there, so there's no need for any violence to occur. So just crazy how all their violence came from this game. And just one more bad news, not too big, but the Spurs blowing so many leads, having such good opportunities early, could have been from the crazy series against OKC, which we won't know, but they were up to double digits, as I mentioned, and then just kept blowing, including a 29-point lead in Game 4. That's just unacceptable when the stakes are so high in a finals matchup. That could also be due to the inexperience, being that a lot of their players are rookies or second year and early in their NBA career, like Wembanyama and Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle. But I don't think this is going to be any problem in the future for the Spurs, and I look for them to be great every single year and probably keep fighting with OKC to get back into the NBA Finals and try and secure another chance in the NBA Finals and hopefully win one for the Spurs.
Video coming into the Fox 5 newsroom showing fans getting rowdy on 35th between 7th and 8th. People can be seen climbing structures and trying to destroy property. Now, a source had told me that while the Garden submitted a permit, as it always does for these events, the Garden and MSG Sports Group never agreed to those heightened security measures, which it included it being a ticketed event and no official Game 4 watch party at the Plaza. 33rd Street Plaza was ever officially announced. As you can imagine, fans we spoke to were very disappointed. Video.
And lastly, for the big sports topic of today, we focus in on replays. Now, when I mean replay, I'm talking about whether or not replay is good or bad for the game. I overall think replay is great for the game. Some people disagree because they feel like it slows the game too much. But I think it's overall positive because the refs are very good for the most part, but they do miss some calls that can be crucial to the game. For example, in the NBA Finals, if a foul is called, but then they replay it to upgrade to a flagrant one, that's huge. That's free throw shots and then possession of the ball. We saw that in the Knicks Finals game, which is just a crucial moment. And in the NFL, seeing whether or not a touchdown actually stands, whether they got a first down, because the game is built of inches. All these games are won and lost by inches, and that's why replay can be so crucial when things move at such a fast pace. The refs sometimes miss certain plays that can be controversial to the outcome of the game. Do I think it makes it a little bit slower? I do, because they have to then take a commercial break and a timeout. I do think that aspect makes it slower. However, it's imperative to the outcome of the game where it could change the result, where let's just say guy doesn't get a first down and now they don't make the fourth down because he was short by inches, but then they go to replay and he made it. That's a first down. Then they go score a touchdown. They just got 6 points because of the replay, allowed them to continue their drive. So it's very huge in critical moments like a finals game, in World Cup, in MLB playoffs or World Series, and obviously in NFL Super Bowl. So all the big events, they should definitely have replay because it's so hard to get every single call right when the game moves at such a fast speed.